Hello everybody, I am the Traveler and welcome to The Wings of Change. This is a game that is in early access on Steam right now, and this is a game for all my furries out there. So I'm going to be trying this. It's $20 on Steam, and I just got it. So hopefully my computer is strong enough to want to play this and to record it, because I have actually been watching this for a while now, and I really want to play it. I need to turn down my TV volume because it is killing my ears. Let me make sure that it is not overpowering my mic. My mic should be okay, I think. I don't think I'm going over too much. I really need to get one of those actual recording microphones that sits like right here on my desk instead of just using the microphone for that's on my webcam. Because that would be a whole hell of a lot better. But I need to find one. I think I found one on Wish. It was about like $20 or so. And then I found one on Walmart.com that was like $88. I'm gonna try the one on Wish first. If that one doesn't work out too well, then I'm gonna work on getting the one that's on Walmart.com. But anyway, new game. New game. The game is running in a borderless world, in the world of Alestia, where the spirits reign supreme.
The rebellion is in shambles. With the recent loss of their leader, they are struggling. But this defeat was not without a victory of its own. For in his final moments, he secured an artifact of great importance. This blade was paramount to the Triumvirate's leadership of Alestia. And without it, their tyrannical grip on the people would surely falter. Having no choice, they give their Grand Inquisitor one simple order. Destroy the rebellion and retrieve the lost blade of the Triumvirate. But Dormek, the new leader of the rebels, has set other plans in motion. Hiding the blade in Valinor, he is confident that it will be protected. This sheltered hamlet is now custodian to the weapon that would liberate the world. And so, it would be met with a gruesome fate by the Triumvirate and their Grand Inquisitor.
Did not expect voice acting. Everything's on fire. Use enter or left click to advance the text. Everything is burning. I can do little to stop it from spreading. An immense pain assaults my head, and I throw my face into my hands. The same question repeatedly plays in my mind. What am I doing here? I have no knowledge of what happened up until this point. My brain is struggling to fill in the blanks, not gaining any headway. It was almost like, until this exact moment, I never existed. Then why is it now that cognition has found me? Was there something I could do to put out these flames? Or perhaps was I the cause of this inferno to begin with? A foolish thought, and one I throw away. If I was responsible, then I wouldn't feel this sense of dread, an emotion shared by those who stand beside me.
Come on, pick up the pace. If we waste any more time, we won't make it out alive. There's no way the Elder would let me let that one down.
I feel like she's escorting me, and I should follow her. Could it be that she's been tasked with my protection? I grasp at the straws that are the memories in my mind. I'm only able to latch onto one. It's the title that I go by.
Are you even paying attention?
I'm the Seer.
I know who you are, Seer. you hit your head or something?
I think so. She scoffs as she turns away. Ugh. But I know she's right. I'm not taking this seriously. It feels like a dream, and I doubt that it's all happening. A few moments later, a sudden sensation startles me. There's a firm grip on my shoulder. We aren't alone. Underneath a veil of fright, I turn to greet this second stranger.
Valessa has our safety in mind.
Hello.
Forgive her hot-headedness for me. Freedom isn't too much farther.
Hold on. I'm gonna move. Shit, not that. I'm gonna move this. Can I? Yeah, hold on. One sec. I'm going to move this over here. Maybe, just maybe, it won't block too much of the text or too much of the actual game. I'm gonna set that right there. And boom. I think that's good. Also, hello, sexy.
We need to stay calm and think this through. Two guys like us, we should have no problem. We'll be safe and sound before you know it.
Thank you. We weave through the houses and alleys to remain unseen. Doing our best to be completely silent, we bring no attention to ourselves. The flames encourage our urgency, but we're careful not to be fast or reckless. Our silence makes everything else more prominent, however. The screams of those being slaughtered fill me with a feeling of disgust. We need to find cover, and Valessa points out a small alcove waiting nearby.
Look, they're dying because they panicked. We need to stay calm and think through this together. If we freak out, we'll only end up with them, no?
She has a point. Our first instinct was to run, but so was theirs. We should let them face the brunt of this attack.
Oh, I like this. I like choices. I love games that have choices like this. Wait, so we're letting them die to pass time. Good idea, let them soak it up. Okay, I'm not saying that. There has to be another way to do this. I'm gonna go with the neutral.
I agree, Ulrich. We can't sacrifice everyone to buy time. I think the people of Valinor deserve far better.
Is Ulrich my name or his?
Would you rather
His.
perish with them, Valessa? That's what'll happen if you go running out there. We're not equipped to handle this on our own. You have to remember what I'm doing here. It's my job to protect the both of you. Everyone else is expendable.
My suspicions are correct. Ulrich is the one protecting us. But why exactly are we a higher priority than the civilians? I venture a guess that we're currently in this Valinor. The pain in my head pulses again, and I stumble back. As I let out a groan, Ulrich crushes over to my side. His exaggerated concern is now understandable.
It must be the smoke. Make sure to sit down. The lower you are right now, the better. Are you having trouble breathing?
I shake my head and let him know that it's not the smoke. This causes Valessa to chime in, voicing her concerns as well.
Yeah, something else is going on here. He's been acting strange for a while now. Is there something you need to tell us?
I don't know what's going on right now. I can't seem to remember anything. Just give me
Some debris fall on your head back there? I'm starting to side with Valessa on this one. Come on, time to gear you up.
Gear me up. He steps away for a few moments and inspects the grounds around him. There's a brief period where I can't see him, but he returns with the blade. The fire causes it to glisten, almost like it's begging me to take it.
I don't care what's going on in that head of yours, but it's not more important than your survival. We're all overwhelmed. It's not just you.
He holds out the blade, expecting my compliance. At this rate, it seems like fighting may be inevitable.
Take it. We won't be standing here forever. As soon as we leave this alcove, we'll be vulnerable. I can't take care of you all the time, you know.
Of course, I'll defend myself as well.
Now that's what I like to hear. I'll feel better if you have something to fight with. Valessa has her daggers, but you had nothing.
I grab the blade and swing it a couple times, testing its weight. It seems good enough for me, but I wouldn't have any problems using it. Though it was a far cry from the massive blade that Ulrich carried.
Now then, it's time to move. seems like some of the noise has finally died down. We should start by investigating the town square.
He walks off, expecting us to follow along. But as I'm about to take a step, Vanessa grabs my arm. The look on her face tells me something is wrong.
You are confused about all this, right? I bet you don't even know what being the SEER means, or how we've known each other for our entire lives.
I look at the ground in both shame and confusion. She's completely right. My head is a mess. As I try to think of an excuse, her response surprises me.
That's normal, but please listen. We only have a few moments before Ulrich notices we're not there. The SEER is special. You wield spirits to induce prophetic visions. When you have these visions, you're unable to remember anything. When you wake up, you'll dismiss it as a dream and forget it ever happened. As your scribe, it's my job to help you take advantage of this. We have to follow Ulrich now, but know one thing. The way you're acting, I'm certain this is a vision. That means you can use it for information.
She takes a few steps closer to me and grabs my hands. Staring right in my eyes, I notice a glimmer of hope shining within her.
I'm relieved. This means Valinor is still fine. When you wake up, use this vision to save everyone. It's your duty as SEER to ensure this doesn't become real.
She lets go of my hands and follows after Ulrich. Though it's hard to believe what she said, I'm less confused. I finally had a reason for why I felt so disconnected. But if this was a vision, then what would become of Ulrich and Valeska? Would all of this carnage be undone as soon as I wake up? What if they died? What if I died in this vision? I follow after Valeska, realizing I might never know. But a faint sense of determination rises up within me. If there was a chance I could stop this, I had to do it. In the present day, the Triumvirate conspires with their Grand Inquisitor, for the events that led to Valinor's destruction had yet to be set in motion. Sarvi knelt before his masters, more eager to serve than he had ever been before.
Rise, Sophie, but please assure us of your certainty. We hate to act without knowing everything.
The prisoner mentions Valinor over and over. The rebels are hiding something of importance there. Along with recent events, we can only surmise one thing.
The Blade of Exodus.
I am almost certain. But if that's where they've chosen to hide it, it means that our other target is also there.
Your compliance pleases us, Sophie. Your plan was risky, but it worked out in the end. A final interrogation would influence our decision further.
You'd have me interrogate the prisoner once more. If I may be so bold, to what end do you request this?
Not you, Sophie. We want your apprentice to do this. It is time for him to prove his worth.
Their voices echoed loudly through the darkened chambers. It mattered not which triumvirate spoke, for they were all of one mind. The clear irritation in his voice, Sarvi did his best to stay calm.
My apprentice? I've told you many times I want to work alone. It would be more efficient for me to do this myself.
Insubordination? This is unbecoming of you, Sophie. We demand that you obey. The role of Grand Inquisitor can be very dangerous. If we were to lose you, a replacement would be necessary. You must train this replacement while you still breathe.
As you command.
Sarvi turned his back to the triumvirate and spotted his apprentice. He was standing by the door, listening to their conversation. If he'd heard of Sarvi's distaste for him, he showed no concern.
Interrogation? And what would you have me extract? I thought the prisoner was at his wit's end.
Anything to confirm our suspicions about Father North. If you fail, I will not hesitate to punish you. Remember what we're on the verge of.
I understand, Master. I'll do my best to get you what you need. What are the limits when it comes to my approach?
Oh, I like these voice actors a lot.
Keep him alive, Helen. I find that psychological pain is the most valid approach. He cares more for his rebel allies than he does for himself.
Then I will threaten the rebellion's very core. I'm grateful to have this opportunity, Master. Things are starting to line up well for me.
They tend to do that when you have the Triumvirate's blessing. We should take care of this immediately and catch them unprepared. Every moment we waste is a moment they gain, Halen.
They leave the room together, talking amongst themselves. The Triumvirate waits until they've gone before speaking, a faint smile on their faces, as age-old plans come to fruition.
So it's finally going to happen, isn't it? What we've been waiting for all these years. Do you think we should tell Sophie our true plan?
Hailing into the prison cell without Sophie at his side, his master remained outside as a pseudo-display of trust. But it was evident to Halen that no trust existed. The prisoner looked up, surprised to see a different face. Yet within him was still a slowly dwindling hope. Cut off from the rebellion, these would be his final days.
So, someone different has finally come. What are you, the executioner or something? I figured it was only a matter of time.
Actually, Sophie said to keep you alive. You seem to underestimate your value, Shane.
You think I'm important? That's not what I expected to hear.
Don't take it the wrong way. You must not know what I meant.
He knelt down in front of the prisoner. With a sinister smirk, he tried to intimidate Shane.
You're important as a bargaining chip. And the fact I must keep you alive is a curse. When I'm through with you, you'll beg for death. You see, I'm different from Sophie. He's past the bar. They no longer need to test him. But I'm in the position where results must happen. When we give you back, you'll be a broken man. And soon after, the foundation of the rebellion will crumble. You think we don't know that Damek is your leader?
What?
Shane's eyes shot wide open in utter shock. It seems that Halen's threats worked to great effect.
You'd be stupid not to think we have inside men. I could order Damek's execution in a matter of seconds. You don't value your life, but you value his. Good. Now, I expect you to answer my questions. The Blade of Exodus, is it in Valinor Village? And the one who can wield it, do they live there as well?
The one who can wield it? What is this, like a special sword, like the Sword in the Stone kind of thing? By the time we catch up with Ulrich, it's already too late. His large blade is in deadlock with one of the enemy soldiers. Valessa draws her daggers, and I hold out my sword ready.
We order you to cease your resistance! Those who support the rebellion must perish!
To break the deadlock, Ulrich kicks his opponent in the gut. They stumble back and raise their blades with a flourish. It isn't much longer until they charge toward him again.
Valessa, you're Your dagger!
Ulrich jumps out of the way and rolls towards us. Landing on his knees, he pries one of the daggers from her grip. Without even looking, he throws it behind himself. He closes his eyes and looks down at the ground. When he hears the impact of the dagger, his ears fold back. For a moment, it looks like he's actually sad.
Spirits, please forgive my misdeeds. I acted only to protect those under my watch.
Ulrich cares about the spirits? For some reason, I didn't expect that. But before I can think about this further, something happens. Catching Valessa and I off guard, we're in complete disbelief.
Huh?
He notices the shocked expression on both of our faces. Rising to his feet is not long before he wears the same look. The enemy soldier fell, as expected, but there was nothing inside. Scattered pieces of armor litter the ground. As we process this revelation, confusion soon assails us. This is no ordinary attack. What we just saw was impossible.
What's going on? Ulrich, what are those things?
I don't know. Come closer, you two. This doesn't feel right. Empty suits of armor with a hatred for the rebellion.
Necromancy?
Only those who've mastered the spirits could do this. I'm afraid this is much larger than we thought.
That can't be true. The spirits are pure. They aid us.
Yeah, sure looks like they wanted to help. It's not my only concern, though. Look at this.
She scoffs as she steps toward the helmet. Kneeling down, she pulls her dagger out of it.
Do you recognize these colors, Ulrich?
No, why would I?
Gold and white. The triumvirate standard. I would have never made such a deduction, but only they could wield the spirits in this fashion. That's what I'd like to know. They're supposed to be our protectors. Some people even think they created Alestia.
Wouldn't be the first time they attempted occupation. They hinted that the rebellion was involved here. Valessa, do you know anything about that?
I don't. So much has changed lately. With our last elder gone, Miles has been in charge. Maybe he has something to tell us.
It's worth a shot. We should see if he's alive. Protecting you is my goal, but now I want answers. If anyone knows about this, it would be him.
To the elder's house, then.
Yeah.
I follow after Valessa and Ulrich. We walk along the circular road surrounding the water tank. I make note of it for later. It might help put out the flames. More suits of armor litter the ground. There's so many of them. It makes me feel a bit hopeful, like we stood a chance. The village wasn't defenseless, and this was proof.
Aren't you glad we waited now? If we rushed in head first, we'd be dead.
Then where are the villagers' bodies? I only see the suits of armor laying around.
That was a good question, actually. No blood, no signs of a major struggle, only the fire and the glistening of the white armor.
That's a good sign. Then they won and fled to safety. Are there any havens in Valinor?
I'd say the elder's house and the Grand Tree. The fire may not have reached either yet.
Wait, how many people can fit in the Grand Tree?
Why can people fit in the Grand Tree to begin with? Why is the Grand Tree hollow?
Hundreds, easily.
Not as good of a sign as I thought. The enemy could be trying to round everyone up, put them all in one place before killing them.
That's a really good point.
That's dirty.
But it works. We still don't know what they're after. It can't be genocide. It must be something else. Does Valinor have anything the Triumvirate would want? Did the change in leadership bring anything with it?
This sort of exodus.
Like I said, we'd have to talk to Miles. But I doubt he'd be at the Grand Tree.
They look at each other and then look at me. I could tell that Valessa was pushing us toward Miles. But that's because she knew this was a vision.
But what if there are people in the Grand Tree? Is Miles more important than all of them? It would be cold to let everyone die.
Ulrich, this is larger than Valenorth, especially if it involves the rebellion. Information could save entire villages.
I don't like what you're suggesting.
I don't think I like it either.
Like it's any better than what you suggested? Using the people as pawns to buy us time? How is this any different?
They fumate each other, but realize it's a stupid argument. In the midst of this battle, nothing was so black and white. Though I find it odd that Ulrich switched viewpoints so fast.
This is a matter of Valenorth's future. Such things are under the jurisdiction of the SEER.
Oh god.
I stand by his side, and you stand by both of ours. That is, unless you want to abandon your job. But that wouldn't look good on your perfect record.
I guess you can fight dirty too. I don't like this, but you have me by the throat. I can only hope that you make the right choice.
He stares at me with a serious look on his face. Talk about putting me on the spot. But if this was my role, I had to fill the shoes.
What are we going to do?
Okay, I'm gonna quick save. I'm gonna do a proper save, like I did with yes, okay, like I did with actually I didn't do this as much as I wanted to with Angels with Scaly Wings, but I'm gonna do this a lot better with this game. So I think we should focus on the lives. We go to the Grand Tree. Vision or not, I couldn't let all these people die. It was my duty to save as many people as possible.
Good to know we're on the same page. Mindless can't be the only one with information.
Are you sure about this? Remember what we talked about.
I nodded and reiterated my stance on the matter. Nothing is more important than saving innocent lives. All the better if some of them had important information. We changed our course and headed to the Grand Tree. It didn't feel good to abandon Mindless, but we had to. This was real. I'd use the future to cheat the present. Oh, I thought the game froze. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just stop here. I'm going to make a different save in this empty spot right here. Right here. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Perfect. So I'm going to end the episode here. This is really awesome. I didn't actually expect voice acting, but I am in love. So hopefully this did record properly because I don't know how the video is going to end up once it's saved. But thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, give that like button some love. Maybe the subscribe button too, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.